It is not uncommon in the world of meteorology to have one thing happen on one side of the globe that can eventually directly impact the other. Let's talk about one of those things, the Saharan air layer. Now, on the map behind me, right about there, you can make out what looks like a hazy spot on the satellite imagery. That is dust that originated off the continent of Africa. We call this the Saharan air layer. Essentially, thunderstorm activity can kick up dust over parts of northern Africa, and that can actually sweep all across the Atlantic and move into the Gulf of Mexico with some interesting impacts. I have a forecast model that can actually show how this dry and dusty air moves in. And it looks like this weekend, a plume of that air, the one I pointed out earlier, moves over the Gulf of Mexico. Now, this activity actually becomes fairly common by mid-June. So we're watching something that's really not out of the ordinary. It can have some interesting impacts to our local forecast. It can degrade air quality. It can make sunsets and sunrises very vibrant. There's even talk that it could enhance things like the red tide. As we play this model farther into the future, you can see the dust in our atmosphere locally through next week. Now, there's another impact this has, and this comes into play especially as we move into the tropical season. The Saharan air layer can actually minimize tropical activity. Not bad, right? The air tends to be dry, so that can actually squelch thunderstorms that try to develop that may organize into a system. There's also wind shear in this jet of air that can also work against organization. Also, this air tends to be a little bit warmer. The darker color of the dust can absorb sunlight and warm the upper levels of the atmosphere, which can essentially cap things. So this can be our friend as we head into hurricane season, which, by the way, officially begins in about 2 weeks.